Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be answering questions that you guys have for computer science graduate. So I am going to be looking down because I have all my notes here, and I am recording in my car because I do have to take care of some stuff, but I still want to get this video out as soon as possible. I have a ton of questions, so let's jump right into it so it can be as concise as possible. The first question I'm going to answer is, what college did you go to? I went to Valdosta State University. This question ties directly into schools to consider. It's a lot of schools in America, a lot of schools out of the country. So instead of telling you specific schools to consider, I'm going to tell you the criteria that I used to pick Valdosta State University. So I originally started at Clark Atlanta University, and it was in the city, and I just felt like I was so distracted. So when I was transferring schools, I wanted a school that was nice and quiet. Valdosta State is a nice and quiet school. I also wanted a school that was accredited in the computer science major, and Valdosta State is accredited. And then I also looked at statistics. So 100% of computer science graduates from Valdosta State University get a job within a year of graduation. That statistic definitely sold me on my school. And I also wanted a school that was in-state. So Valdosta State is in-state, so that's why I chose the school. So when considering schools, check the accreditation. Do you want to go in-state or out-of-state? Look at the statistics, and all of those factors can tie into what school you should consider. Another question I got is, how many years did your degree take? So my degree took 4 years. I graduated high school in 2018, May 2018. And I graduated college December 2022. So I was a semester off, but that's because I changed my major from biology to computer science. And what I'm talking about ties directly into, how did you choose your major? And people asked this question a lot of different ways. Like someone said, what got you into computer science? Why did you choose computer science? And how did you decide to do it? Because it is not a path a lot of Black women choose. So that is one of the reasons why I chose it. Because it's not a path that a lot of Black women choose, I wanted to choose it. I want to try and make sure that we're represented everywhere. So when a little Black girl looks up, she's like, I can do that because she did that, you know? And also, when I graduated high school, I joined the Guard, and my job in the Guard is a client systems technician, and that's heavily IT and heavily computer work. And I realized I was really good at computers. Like, if someone teaches this to me, I learn it. Like, if I study it, I learn it. Like, I learned computer science so easily. It just felt like something that I should be doing. I just love the math, the formulas, the algorithms. I can remember formulas and algorithms so easily. And I was able to get my CompTIA Security Plus certificate my first try. Like, I studied it, I took the test, and I got it. So I was just so good at technology. It just seemed like something I should be doing because I was struggling to learn chemistry, struggling to learn biology, and I would sit down, look at computer science, and it would stick to my brain. And also, I just feel like computer science is the future. Like, just look at the world around you. Technology is the future, and I just want to be part of the future. Like, I want to know about the future, and I want to help initiate that. So that's why I chose computer science. Another question I got is, can you get into the major without knowing anything about computer science? You can, but just know that you're going to be putting in a lot of work because a lot of your classmates have already started coding since high school. Like, a lot of your classmates have computer science experience. So when your professors are teaching, they teach as if you know about it, because so many of your classmates know about it. So you're going to have to put in extra work to learn it already, because you're going to be behind if you don't know anything about computer science. But you can do it, because when I started, I knew stuff about computers, but I didn't know anything about coding. So I had to quickly learn about coding and catch up. Question that I didn't understand is when someone said, is it very competitive? So you don't fight for a spot in computer science. I will say it's harder for Black women in computer science because since there's so many white men in it, you have to prove that you're actually good at it, and you have to be better than them at it. So you have to work really hard, but it's not like a competition. Like, it's not heavily infiltrated, so you don't have to fight for a spot, if that's what you're asking. Okay, I just lost my train of thought, but I'm back. Another question that kind of ties into this is, did you have to explain to your parents about your major, or were they always supportive? So my mom wanted me to be a nurse really bad. So I'm African, my parents are Ghanaian, and they just always push their daughters to go into nursing. I'm not bashing nursing. Nursing is an amazing career, and it is a career that's going to be around forever, and it brings in the dough, it brings in the money. So there's nothing wrong with nursing. However, it just wasn't for me. Like, it was just not meant for me. Like, I was not meant to be doing nursing. And I just got lucky because the people around my parents, some of their friends do IT, so they talked to them about it, and that's how they were really convinced to just let me do it. And another question is, did you ever feel like people were judging you for taking specific classes? Yes. When I first started computer science, I wasn't a Christian. Like, I was lukewarm. So I would be wearing the croppest of crop tops and booty shorts, like the shortest booty shorts ever. So just imagine me sitting in your Java programming class with honey blonde highlights, a beat face, crop top, and booty shorts, and it's just, I just felt the energy. Like, people did not speak to me. I remember once somebody called me intimidating. It's really only because I'm a black woman, because I'm not intimidating. But yeah, I just felt out of place sometimes because it wasn't people that were looking like me. And then also when people would ask me, what's your major? And I'd be like, oh, I'm a computer science major. People have told me to my face, like, why don't you just be a model or something? You don't want to do hair? You don't want to, like... We need to get out of the mindset that all pretty women should model. Just because you're pretty doesn't mean you need to go and model. Like, you can be pretty and be an accountant. Let's widen our scope. How hard is it to learn is one of the questions. It's super hard to learn. It's very hard to learn. I'm not going to come here and tell you, oh, it's easy to learn. I'm just good at algorithms and formulas, but I still had to take time and study. There were things that I would have to spend days on, like days to learn. So you have to take your time and learn it, because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of material to remember and to learn. So it's hard. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, computer science, it's a 10. Computer science is probably one of the hardest majors. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. How much time did you study a day? I studied a lot of days. Sometimes I'll do this thing where I'll dedicate a whole day to studying. Like, the whole day would be just me studying. And someone asked, did you have free time? There were many times where my friends will ask me, hey, you want to go out? And I have to say no. I did not have a lot of free time. Even on my birthday, I would have tests. Like, I also did this thing where I would study like 3 hours a day, because I still have to go to class. So 3 hours that day, I'll do like 40 minutes studying, 10-minute break. 40 minutes studying, 10-minute break. And sometimes my weekends would just be filled with me coding. So keep that in mind. It takes up a lot of time. Yeah, sometimes I lost friendships because I can't hang out all the time, girl. I can hear the books calling, you know. I can hear the streets calling. No, I could hear the books calling. So there were times where I'd be like, sorry, I cannot hang out. Sorry, I cannot come to this. Sorry, I cannot model for your brand. Sorry, I can't do this. I have to study. So yeah, it takes up a lot of time. Sorry, I keep saying but another question is, how hard are the math classes? And that directly ties into another question, which is, how strong does your math have to be? Your math has to be very strong. Computer science is heavily math. Even coding is math, because you use so many algorithms and so many formulas when you code. So everything is math. Everything is math based. The math classes are really hard because as a computer science, I took, normal algebra. I took Calculus 1, Calculus 2, Statistics, Operations Research, and Linear Algebra. Calculus 2 is a class that makes a lot of people change their major. That is the math class that's like the point, the determinant point. And people would switch their major into computer information systems, which does not have Calculus 2 and have those hard math classes. So people would switch their majors so that they wouldn't have to do that math. So the math classes are really hard, and I would say that I spent most of my time studying math and doing math homework. Change of location, but let's continue with the questions. How did you deal with failure? I am very blessed. I have never failed a college class. So I've never failed a class. However, there are times where I did terrible on tests, and my advice is, don't focus on how terrible you did. Focus on what you did that led to that terrible score, and see what you can do to improve it. I like to use teachers' first test to determine how I'm going to study or what I need to focus on when doing their test, because every teacher tests you differently. So just try to take the test and see how you can improve, you know? I hope that was good advice. So these questions kind of tie into each other, so I'm just going to say them and then answer them. One of the questions is, how did you decide what path you wanted to take, software development, cybersecurity, etc.? And have you done any internships? How did you apply for internships? If you did, I am an information systems major. So I can't give you much information about how different it will be for an information systems major. However, I decided what path I wanted to take by doing internships. So yes, I have done internships. I did a corporate IT internship. And I say do internships to determine your path, because once you do those internships, you'll be able to see, oh, I actually like doing this job, or no, I hate this job. Once I did that corporate IT internship, I realized that I do not want to do IT. I want to do software. I want to deal with software and the development of it. So yes, and then how did I apply for internships? So I got professors to write me recommendation letters, and then I would keep those recommendation letters. And I know people hate writing cover letters for jobs, but I write cover letters. I feel like that's really what made me stick out from other candidates that were applying for internships, because they wouldn't write cover letters, and I'm gonna write a cover letter. So I would go on Indeed, and I would just go on all those like job searching places, and I would type computer science internships. I would read the descriptions, see which one is close to my area, and I would apply to them that way. Somebody asked, is it worth it? I haven't been a computer scientist long enough to tell you whether it's worth it or not, but a computer science degree is one of the degrees that you're like secure that you are gonna get a job. There's other like degrees where like you'll graduate and then you won't even use that degree, and you'll just get a job in a whole different field. But computer science degree, you will get a job, you know? So I guess it is worth it because job security is known. Someone said, hey Precious, hey boo, have you ever felt intimidated when it comes to male-female ratio? I won't say I've felt intimidated, but there were times where people would like mess with me. There was this one guy that was in my operating systems class, and he would purposely sit in my seat that I sat in just to like get a reaction out of me. And I found this out because one of the boys told me before I graduated that he would purposely do that. Like he would purposely sit in my seat just to see my reaction. So he would just like take my seat on purpose just to see if I would get annoyed. And there are times where I feel like I have been belittled. You know what? Let me share. This is not about the male-female ratio, but this is a moment where it was like mad awkward. So usually the white girls or the girls that are not black that are in computer science, they usually are like those like Discord gamer girls. So the males are usually just accept them because like they see them as like one of the boys. So it was really easy to pick me out because I'm super girly. I don't care. I'm super girly, and I wasn't gonna change that. And I remember one time I had tried to form like an all-girl like group in our class so that like the girls could work together and we could like I could get closer to them because none of them were messing with me at the time. And the next day I came to class, the teacher came up to me and told me that all the group that I made, like the all-girls group that I made, decided to split up and that they weren't gonna work with me anymore. So that's, bro, y'all, when that had happened, I was like, so why would they not tell me to my face like, oh, we don't want to work with you? They would go behind my back and work with me. But lo and behold, you guys, senior year when we had to do our capstone for software engineering, one of the girls came up to me and was like, I would really like for you to be in my group. You have like such amazing work ethic. So it's so crazy to see the difference in like a couple of years, how they thought like they didn't want to be in my group, and now they were practically begging me to be in their group. That's why it's really important that you be really good when you're a black woman. Like just be really good, because it's like you literally do have to prove yourself. So that's the story I have for that. Hey, would you give advice to those taking programming classes? I have to take one and I want to do good. I will say that watch a lot of YouTube videos, get on GitHub, see how people code, see the best practices for coding, and practice coding your own things before you even have the programming class. In your free time, try to code like a word search puzzle, try to code a game. Like, the more you code, the better you get at it. Like, you have to practice coding to get better. So before that programming class even comes, practice coding, watch coding videos, and try to enhance your skills before it's time. And my secret to success is always to pray and always put my best into everything. Once I pray and I'm putting 100% effort, success is mine. So that's a key tip. How was your experience with coursework? Coursework is very heavy. I know that's for some college majors, you can like do homework in one night. Like, you'll be like, oh, tonight I'm doing my homework, and you'll finish your homework that night. No. So for computer science, I'll be like, okay, I'm doing my homework tonight, and I'll continue that same work the next day and the next day. Even though I spend 3 hours a night on it, I still won't complete it, because coding is very extensive. Even if it's just like an assignment, you'll spend days doing one assignment. So the coursework is not like you just go home one day, you just finish your homework in one night. That's why it's not good to procrastinate, because the coursework takes up a lot of time. So that's my experience with the coursework. Is very heavy. I can't lie to you. What are platforms that helped you learn computer science outside of college? Like I said, I was in the Guard. So being in the Guard helped me gain a lot of computer science, especially because I had to get my CompTIA certificate. So the Guard taught me a lot of the computer stuff before I even went into it, because I had to learn about computers for my job. So I just was able to apply that. So try to find like outside resources that will help teach you. I know there's a lot of girls that code clubs that you can join. So join coding clubs, join some Discord chats. There are Discord chats out in there where it's just like full of computer science nerds. So I would say that. And then somebody asked, what were your extracurricular that prepared you and helping you get into this? And that's basically like the same question. The Guard and just like clubs, coding clubs and stuff like that. Someone asked, how hard is it to learn? I think I've already answered that. One of the questions I received is, what language did you find the easiest to learn and the hardest? Which was your fave? And that, I'll say, I've learned Java, C++, C, Python, SQL. I feel like I've learned more, but those are the ones that I can remember off the top of my head. The easiest language to learn was Python. I just love Python. Python is very nice. I love Python. Very amazing language. And somebody also asked, how many languages did you learn? Did you have to learn? I think I've already said that. Which was my fave? My fave is Python. Even though Python is my favorite, I feel like I'm the best at coding in Java, because I always have to code in Java. And Java was the first language that I learned using JGrass. So if computer science, like if you know what JGrass is, people hate JGrass, but I love JGrass because it's the first thing I've ever used. But yeah. Which language was the hardest? I would say C++ was the hardest, because the syntax threw me off. Like, the syntax of C++ took me a minute to grasp. And somebody said, how challenging? I feel like all of them have their different challenges, but I will say Java was the least challenging. And someone said, I'm here for this. Thank you, babe. And how do you stay grounded? I stay grounded because I know how hard it was to do this, and I know it wasn't by my own might. Like, when I just think about all the stuff that I went through to get my degree, I know that it's like because of how merciful God is and because of how faithful God is, because I could not have done this on my own. This was too hard from like only my human ability. So I know it's by the grace of God. Even my brain being able to learn material and study, I didn't create my brain. God gave me my brain, So everything, I just know it's not by my might but by God's. So that's how I stay grounded, because I can't take none of the glory. I didn't really give myself this ability. And I think I've answered all the questions. Well, I've answered them briefly. If you guys want me to go in depth in any of the questions, like show my studying habits or show all of that, I can like try and make videos on that. But I just wanted to do a quick Q&A. I didn't want it to be like a super long video, and I do want to share some stories with you guys. They're not really like fun stories, but if you're a black woman and you're going into this field, I want to share these stories with you so that you understand what you're getting yourself into, because I didn't fully understand what I was getting myself into. Like I said, a lot of people did not really mess with me until my junior year, because then people saw how serious I was about it. I think people thought that I would eventually change my major, so they were not messing with me. And I remember when I had gone to get tutoring for my 1302 class, and my tutor told me, oh, don't worry about it, a lot of people just take this class twice. When he told me that, I put it in my mind. I said, no, I am not gonna take this class twice. And I went hard in that class. And when I went back for some more tutoring, he asked me what I got on the first test, and I had gotten like a 95. And after that, it was like he didn't want to help tutor me anymore. Like, he didn't want to even help tutor me anymore, because he was like, I feel like he just felt like I got too high of a grade on the test, so he didn't want to help tutor me, which was mad weird. But like, these stories that I'm going to tell, they have nothing to do with the institution, because it wasn't the institution's fault. It was just some of the students that I went to school with were just, they were just, hold up, my voice. They were just ignorant. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. My voice is being weird, but yeah, they were just ignorant. I remember once I was in a group of 4, and there was like another group of 4, and we had to work on making our Raspberry Pis communicate with each other. And the other group was like all white men, and in my group I'll just say his name because me and him are cool. A black guy, he's Nigerian, his name is Emmanuel, and we were on the team together. And the whole time, me and Emmanuel did all the work. And after me and Emmanuel were done with the work, we had told him, we were like, yeah, we're done. Like, we finished the report, getting the rest, like, we've done everything. And one of the white males on the other groups was like, oh wow, look at us white men just sitting around while black people do all the work, typical America. And everybody else in his group was just like looking around like shocked, and I started laughing. Like, you know how you laugh when something's not, you don't laugh because it's funny, you laugh because you just can't believe it came out of somebody's mouth. Yeah. So there were some instances like that that just rubbed me the wrong way. But yeah, and I thank God, I give like God all the glory, because there are only 2 black women, including me, like when you include me, it's only 2 black women that graduated with a computer science degree December 2022. So I did it. And if you guys have any more questions for me or anything, just drop it down below. I love talking to y'all in the YouTube comments, so just let me know, you know, give me a like, a comment, a subscribe. But yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all in my next video. Thing I quickly want to add to the is it worth it? So there's computer science major and computer information systems majors. Computer science majors, we take, I'm not a major anymore, I have a degree, but there is way more math involved in a few different courses. And I know the people that come to our school to hire computer science majors and computer information system majors pay 10 to 20K more to computer science majors than computer information system majors. So beware that, like, the degree does, you know, make a couple things, make you gain a couple more. Remember that the failure is not your end all be all. In life, there are many instances where we fail, and those failures lead to our success. So don't fail and then just dip yourself into it. Just hurry up and pick yourself back up and look towards the future, because you might have lost the battle, but you're gonna win.